One really important feature in AutoCAD that I think is pretty underutilized is the use of plot styles. So a lot of people will just go in and choose either Grayscale, or they'll choose Monochrome, or they'll actually change the way that their lines are printing by layer or something like that. So what I like to do here is look at the actual plot styles first. So if we navigate over to our AutoCAD button and then print and then manage plot styles is one way, or we can just type styles manager and that will pop open a browser window that looks like this. Yours won't look exactly like this. I have some extras in here, but let's go ahead and take a look at what one of these looks like. So if we pop open Grayscale, what that's going to look like in our form view. So if we look at all of the different colors that we can possibly use in AutoCAD, we're going to be using the object color, but Grayscale is going to be on. So it's going to use basically the black values of these, and it's going to make them a Grayscale image. So let's go ahead then into Monochrome, and we can take a look at the form view, and we can see that no matter what color we're on, they're all going to be printing in black. So this is going to mean that every single thing in your document is going to print as black. And then you can obviously change transparencies and things like that to make them different levels of gray. But no matter what color you use on your lines, they will always, always, always be black. So let's say that we don't like any of these that are actually in here and we want to go in and create our own. I would suggest doing this and do it on a rolling basis so that you can always have a really secure way of working, so that you know that your workflow is going to work with any plotter at any time with any color settings. So we can either go to this add a plot style table wizard, and this will actually allow us to select whether we use an existing plot style to make a new one, whether we start from scratch, or whether we go in here. The way I like to do it instead of that is if you have one that you sort of like, so let's say I sort of like the monochrome one. So let's go ahead and open that one up and go over to the form view, and I can click save as here, and I can just save it as a different one. So let's save it as monochrome DV, and then save that. We can cancel out of that, and we see now monochrome DV shows up. So if we go into my form view now and we say, well, every single time I have a red line, I actually want that to print as red. So we can go in here and we can do use object color, and then that would actually allow that to print as red. Or we can go in here and we say, what if we want our first 10 colors to print as red? So obviously you're not going to do use object color, you're going to click red for all of those. And then you'll see each one of those is going to print as red. And then as soon as we get to color 11, you'll see that we print as black. So the reason for this is that you can then draw in any color that you want in AutoCAD, but you just know that colors 1 through 10 will all print as red. So you can use any of those for, say, a highlight or something like that, red hatches, anything like that. And so if we wanted to go back and change that, we can go in and do just have those print black. We can change a lot of this other stuff, so you can actually do line type by color as opposed to by layer. Some of these things I like to do at the layer level as opposed to at the plot style level. So a lot of these things I like to do at that level, but things like grayscale and color I usually do in the plot style. So if we cancel out of that, we'll click yes on that, and we X out of that, and then we go to plot. You'll see that over here in our plot style table, we can now go in and we should be able to select our new template. We likely actually have to open X out of this first. And let's see if a regen will fix it. So if we do regen and then we do plot, we'll see that that actually pops up in there. So then we can select that, and then that will allow us to print with those settings on the page that we're actually using. So then anytime you change the settings in that actual plot style, you will be able to have your prints align with that. The really nice thing about this is if we go into our styles manager again, you can actually save these to a flash drive or something like that, and then every time you jump on a new computer, you can just drag and drop this from your flash drive back into this plot styles folder, and then you'll have the same plot settings every single time you print. Be sure to check out the tutorial on page setup saving also, because that will save you a lot of time and a lot of effort when you're doing your plotting as well.